Then the disciples went back to where they were staying. Now Mary stood outside the tomb, crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." And with that, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive anyone's sins, their sins are forgiven. If you do not forgive them, they are not forgiven." Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God." Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed."
Very powerful when you see it acted out in a way like that, isn't it? some of you won't be able to see all of these emojis that I've put up down here. We're going to look at two characters this morning from the story. Characters of Mary and the character of Thomas. Okay? And I'm going to divide you into two halves. So what have we got? We've got one table without anyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables. Okay, so 3 tables are going to look at the character of Mary. And 3 tables are going to think about the character of Thomas. So I think what we'll do is we'll have this table here and these 2 tables thinking about Mary. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then the table at the back and these 2 tables think about the character of Thomas. And the sound desk can do whatever they like. So we're going to think about these in terms of the emotions that come out for these characters as they go through the story. Oh, I need to give you this. So I will put, you can read these questions. These are basically for your own character, for you to be able to think about the character and their emotional response. So we're looking for at least three different emotions that come out of. Have you got one? Yes. So you've got 3 things. So the first, which word is the first thing that Mary or Thomas felt according to the Bible reading? So that's the first thing. And here are some suggestions. Certainty, astonishment, faith, sadness, confusion, disbelief, desperation, doubt, worship and wonder, eagerness, joy. Okay? So which are the first emotion do you think that they had? And then a word, which do you think is the second thing they might have felt? And then which other words describe different parts of their stories? Does that make sense? A few people looking rather blankly at me. I use the emojis because I know these days we quite often use emojis to display our emotions to people, don't we? But I realised when I started printing them out that some of them are very confusing. And I justified myself as to why I don't use my emojis myself very much. But maybe that's helpful for some people to convey what they might feel. And think of for the emoji. If you want to send somebody in your group to have a look at these, they're on the table here as well, the same ones.
Can you read them out?
I will read them out. So we've got, and they're in no particular order. Okay, so we've got certainty, astonishment, faith, sadness, confusion, disbelief, desperation, doubt, worship and wonder, eagerness and joy. So you're looking firstly for the first reaction for your character. So try to get at least one word written down on a piece of paper. So do you think you've got one word? Maybe one of those things? Doesn't matter if it's not one of those things. If you think there's something more obvious, then that's fine. Now, okay, as the story goes on, maybe to the point at which Jesus comes into the story, what does your character feel then? What's their emotion then? I'll give you them again. Certainty, astonishment, faith, sadness, confusion, can't read my own writing, disbelief, desperation, doubt, worship and wonder, eagerness, joy. How's your character feeling now that Jesus has come into the frame? Just one word. Okay, so having done that, in looking at the whole story, what other emotions come to the fore that you can see? I'm not going to read them out again. So what other emotions? They don't have to be here, but I think many of them will be. What other emotions are the characters displaying? I'll just give you another minute on that. In a minute, I'm going to come round and ask you for what you might have written down. Okay, let's start over here. Which character are you again? Mary. Okay. What was the first emotional response that you think that you had? Sadness. Okay. Would you like to come up? One of you come up and take sadness from here, wherever it is, and put it by Mary. Stick it by Mary. Yeah. Okay. So Mary's got sadness there. Okay. Did you have a different one at all? You did. What did you have in this table? Confusion. Okay. Would one of you like to come and take the confusion and put that by Mary? Do you know which one it is? It's that emoji there. Can you take it off and stick it by her somewhere? Oh, put it just there. Yeah, that's it. Brilliant. Okay, confusion. Which was the other Mary table? Was it this one? Okay. Did you have another one, a first emotion at all? Was it one of those?
What they put, eager.
The eagerness.
Yeah.
Was that later?
I didn't write that down.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to come up. She was eager to get to the two. Okay, we can have that one. Look, you've been. Come and take the eagerness and stick it up against her. Okay. Pop that near her somewhere. Thank you. Now, let's have a think about Thomas. Yes, did you have a first reaction for Thomas? Disbelief, okay. Would one of you like to go and find disbelief and stick it near his name?
Can we say honest disbelief?
Honest disbelief.
Because he wasn't trying to cover up. He
Right.
wasn't trying to go
Yeah.
along with the rest.
Give him his due. He was not following the crowd, was he? No, honest disbelief. Yeah, that's fine. Great. It says homis now. It's all right. You were a Thomas as well. Did you have a different word there? You had disbelief as well, okay. And did you have anything different? Disbelief, okay. Honest disbelief? Okay, so I think that's a fairly obvious one, isn't it, actually, with Thomas? Complete disbelief. Okay, so Jesus comes into the frame, and let's see what the reactions are now. Let's start with the third group first. So what did you have for reaction for Mary at that point? Did you have a different thing?
Worship and wonder.
Worship and wonder, okay. Would you like to come and find the worship and wonder and stick that near? Yeah, stick that near to... I've got two of each of these, so we can give them to both characters, don't worry. Okay, so worship and wonder we've got there. Did you have a different one at all?
I think the word hope needs to come out of it because Mary hoped as a result of the angel's word and then it was fulfilled.
Okay, come write your... Let's just write this on the back of that one. If you write hope on there, you can come and stick that one up. Try to plan for all eventualities in this type of thing. Come and put that one up here, Tony. You don't have to write... Oh, right, okay. You don't have to do an emoji for it. Stick that on the back. Pop it next to there somewhere. Yeah, that's it. Great. Brilliant. As long as it doesn't cover her name up, that's fine. Okay, Hope. Did you have anything different at all? Astonishment. Okay. Come and put that one up. Lots of emotions going on. You can use this one. There we are. That one. Pop that next to her name. Okay, so that was the Mary's reaction once Jesus was in the frame. So what about Thomas? You were Thomas, weren't you? What about Thomas's reaction? Doubt. Even afterwards.
No, not afterwards. That was before Jesus.
Yeah, it's all right. That could have been a first one, couldn't it? I think. I mean, he might still have been doubtful, actually, at the moment that Jesus appeared.
Astonishment.
Okay, we'll come back to that one in a minute. Astonishment again.
After Jesus appeared, astonishment.
Okay, come over here. We've got astonishment, so we need to find another one. Come on, Deborah. It's lazy here. No, it's not. Okay, this table. Second, when Jesus appears, what was the sort of reaction? You said doubt when he first appeared.
Second emotion.
Okay, come and put the doubt up. I have no problem with that. One of you, please. He's a very honest guy, doubting Thomas. Just under there somewhere. Right, and this table, did you have anything in that second bit?
Because we're on the second question.
Yeah, confusion. Okay, come up and put that one here. There we are. Thank you. We don't have to use all the emojis, by the way. Okay, so we've all had a go at those first two questions, and the last one was which other words describe different parts of their story. So was there anything else that you felt in this group? Was there anything else about Mary's story that comes up which you'd like to add to those emotional responses there?
Desperation.
Just one, okay? We don't want all of them because desperation at
the beginning of the story.
desperation at the beginning, okay? If you come and take that one and pop that one up there. Let's just go around. We'll have one from this group. Certainty after he... Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you could go and pop that one up, one of you. Come on then. There we are, pop that one up, somewhere there. And I can't remember, it's this group, isn't it? Any other emotion that you'd like to offer to her? Joy. Okay. If you could go and put that one up, someone. Right. While Natasha's doing that, what about Thomas?
We've got astonishment, wonder, worship, joy.
Which one would you like to put up? We've got astonishment already up there.
Yeah. Joy?
Joy, okay. If you come up here, I'll give you the joy one. There we are. This group here, have you got another one? Just one. Worship. Okay, I thought that one would come up again. Do you want to come up and put that one up, Joe? And this group, just one from yours, other list. What have you got? Joy? Give him faith. Okay, come on then, have the faith. Then we've used all of the ones I offered originally. Okay, pop that there. Thank you. There are other emotions, probably more than the ones even that we've got on the table, actually. But the purpose of this is to just see some of the ways in which Mary and Thomas responded to Jesus. What I love about Scripture is it's so honest. It's just real life. It doesn't try to make it out what it isn't. And the reactions of these two people, Mary and Thomas, were probably how you and I would have reacted in those sorts of situations. I know this was extreme. I know it was really extreme. But even so, they reacted like normal people. Yeah, they didn't consider, and why would they, that Jesus could come back again from the dead. That wasn't in their mindset. The thought was, for Mary and the other ladies, that actually the body had been stolen. The thought was for Thomas, well, I don't know what Thomas was thinking quite, but how could these other guys really have seen Jesus? I can't believe that. I honestly can't believe that. And to us, that can be really difficult as well. They went through a huge emotional journey because their friend, remember that, he's not just God to them, he was a friend. Their friend Jesus had been raised from the dead. The journey was filled with darkness, or to begin with, but then became light. The journey was filled with death to begin with, but then became life. With the old order, and then with the new. With doubts, but then with certainty. Because why? Because Jesus was alive. I want us to use our imaginations for a minute. I'm going to take you on an imaginary journey. And I encourage everybody to do this if they can. Get yourself comfortable so you're not too achy in any of your bits of your body that hurt. And we're going to do this purposefully and in an unhurried way. We're going to go on a journey. A very special journey, a journey in our imagination. So you might want to close your eyes. Now you've closed your outer eyes, try and open your mind's eyes, the ones you use to imagine pictures and feelings. We're going to go and see Mary and Thomas, friends of Jesus. Try to imagine what they looked like. If you can't, then you can use the images that there was on the video. Can you see Mary? She's standing outside the tomb where the body of Jesus has been placed. She's crying, and her tears fill her eyes and run down her cheeks. She's so sad. She feels as if she might break. Can you see Thomas? He's with his friends, but he feels cut off from them. They say they've seen Jesus, but he hasn't. He doesn't know what to think. He feels jealous, left out, alone. Where are you? Do you stand near Mary feeling sad? Or near Thomas feeling alone? Mary's friends were there when they found the empty tomb. But they have gone home now, and she is on her own. But she's not completely on her own. As she bends to look into the tomb, she sees two people dressed in white. Can you see them? Can you see their clothes, their peace, and their light. Why are you crying, they ask. Isn't it obvious? They've taken my Lord away, and I don't know where they've put him. Mary turns round and sees Jesus standing there, but she does not realize. You long to tell her. Thomas backs away from his friends and speaks out, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hand and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I will not believe it." You long to tell him. Just one word. Mary. Imagine it's your name. Jesus' words are an invitation. Stop doubting and believe. Imagine Jesus is looking at you. The tears start again, but they're tears of joy. Mary calls Jesus Rabboni, teacher. Thomas calls Jesus my Lord and my God. What words do you use? What do you say to Jesus? Say them to him now, either silently or even aloud. Can you see him? Alive, risen, today? It's time to end our journey in our imagination. Slowly close the eyes you imagine with and open your outer eyes that you see with. Welcome back. Jesus is alive.